And let's learn about somebody else too, someone very near and dear to my heart, Miss Flannery O'Connor, whose writing has captivated readers for generations with its vivid characters, profound theological themes, and unique vision of grace. In her book, Finding Flannery, Roxanne Salonen retraces the author's life and legacy through a journey to her home in the state of Georgia.
And Roxanne joins us now. Welcome to This is the Day, Roxanne. How are you doing?
Very good. Thank you.
Good. Thank you for joining us. And you know, I've heard of Flannery O'Connor. I'm sure a lot of our viewers, maybe they've heard the name but don't know much about her. Can you start us off by just giving us just kind of a general overview of who Flannery O'Connor was?
Sure. Well, she lived in the South, obviously, in Georgia, in the deep South, and I'm from the high North. I'm up in North Dakota. And in the summer of 2014, two Catholic author friends and I traveled down to visit the ghost of Flannery O'Connor. We were part of a Catholic writers listserv, and a lot of people were talking about her. I didn't know a lot about her at the time either, and I read one of her breakout novel, Wise Blood, and I was so confused. I didn't understand what everything was all about, so then I got a hold of her letters, which really bring you into the heart of Flannery O'Connor. She's pretty misunderstood, so our quest was to go down and find out what she was really about. You asked who she was. Her name was Mary Flannery O'Connor. She lived in the South. She was an only child, kind of came from some well-to-do background, but ultimately her dad died when she was only 15 and of lupus. And that was ultimately the same disease that ended her life at only 39, kind of right when she was hitting the ground running with her fiction and really capturing attention. But the beauty of Flannery is in more than just that. She also had a countenance about her. She was a friend to many. She was a profuse letter writer. She was funny. She was snarky. She's someone that I think everyone should get a chance to know.
And why do you think she's so misunderstood?
Well, her writing has been described as sardonic and it's Southern Gothic. And so even her mother, Regina, like kind of scoffed at her writing. She's like, why can't you write something, a little bit more cheerful? But she, I think because I was thinking about this, I think because her father died when she was a teenager, she had this real sense of death and how, death can, only be brought into the light by Christ. She was a daily mass attendee, very deep faith, but in the South, in the Bible Belt. So her whole life was a contrast. And so I think you get that through her writing. You get the humor and a little bit of, the snarkiness in there, but at the same time, such a genuine friend, such a genuine person, and she had such a grasp of human nature. And so she showed the opposite of grace to show what grace really was. So people misunderstand her. You have to read a lot of her to kind of start getting who she was, and it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Why would you say you decided to travel to Georgia to learn more about Flannery O'Connor? What kind of insight did that give you?
So I co-authored this with two other writer friends, and the youngest of us was very adventurous, and she's like, let's go down to Georgia. And we're kind of like, oh, well, we had a lot going on, and I have 5 kids that were still growing, and my friend as well. But she inspired us. It's kind of funny because Flannery herself, I think partly because she was dealing with her disease, wasn't much for traveling. She didn't like it too much. She didn't like to leave the comforts of home, but once she did, she always came back inspired. And I think going down to Georgia, number one, that was like quite an adventure from the north, but just really like stepping into her world, stepping into the farmstead where she did most of her writing. It was so prolific. Meeting her peacocks. She was a huge fan of fowl of lots of different kinds, but her peacock were the emblematic bird that she wrote about, she loved, she fed every day. Those were her babies. And so just going down and just seeing her bedroom, seeing her crutches, understanding the suffering she went through, but also the gift that she was to God through her writing was just to touch it tangibly was so inspiring for us. So it was an inspiration that we followed, and we're so glad we did.
That's awesome. And on your trip, you had a very profound moment on your last night of your trip at her gravesite. Can you share a little bit more with us about that?
Yeah, we stayed, we intentionally had our very last day was going to be visiting her gravesite. And it was kind of funny because at first we couldn't find it. We started on the wrong side of the grave, but eventually we got to her tomb. And, by then we had visited her home, we had visited her college, and kind of trod in her steps. And now we were visiting her grave. We'd had a lovely meal and the sun was just starting to set. And we all just had a moment of like touching this person who had touched us so much, touching her actual grave, like almost like her relics. It was very sacred, very meaningful. And it was just caused us to pause and ask, what would she want us to say? What is she trying to say to the world? What would she put forward? And I think that moment inspired us to decide to write about our travels and about her and how she'd affected us. And part of that was our friendship, our very friendship, going down there, with two other women friends and discovering Flannery, because she was such a drawer of people, bringing people together, and like this, there was an aliveness of her even as she was dying, through the relationships in her life. And I feel like she brought that into our little trio.
Wow. It's beautiful. That's amazing. It sounds like, just a totally life-changing experience. What would you say some of your favorite memories are from that trip?
I think going to the farmstead, one of the things that struck us that we weren't ready for was to think about her mom, because her mom suffered too. Not only that, so her mom, Regina, not only lost her husband at a critical time when her daughter was a teenager, but then her daughter had the same disease and her mother had to traverse that. Two of us at the time were mothers. The third one is now a mother. And so I think we weren't prepared to realize how much we were going to enter into the life story of Regina. But when we were at the farmstead, it was a dairy farm. So when you have a dairy farm, you have to be pretty attached. You can't leave very often. And that was their livelihood. And she was basically providing for her and Flannery. We just saw the work that she put into everything. She had farm help, and Flannery wrote about the farm help in a most amusing way. But I think that was the big surprise. We absolutely loved getting to see. In fact, when we went there in 2014, it was still kind of rudimentary. Andalusia is what they called the farmstead. It still wasn't completely refined. So we actually got a sneak preview. We got to go up into the second floor and see. I actually saw a letter sitting there that had not been opened. That was from her. I mean, it felt like she was still there. It was amazing.
Wow. You mentioned earlier that Flannery is one of those writers that you need to stick with for a little while in order to get that payoff and really understand her. But what is it about Flannery that makes taking the time to get to know her so worthwhile?
I think because she had a grasp of human nature that was so beautiful, and she was able to convey that through her fiction. So that's one thing. I think right now we're kind of lost in the world. She was very forthright about things. She would say things as she saw it. She hold no bar. Like, she was the one that coined the phrase about the Eucharist. If it's just a symbol, to hell with it. I mean, this was not meant to be crass. This was meant to be, if we're worshiping a piece of bread, forget it. She went right to the jugular. And so I think I would almost, other than our book, because I think our book kind of brings you into this adventure, and kind of, that's what we wanted to do, is be a bridge to people that misunderstood Flannery. But also, like, if you're going to start, I would start with her writings. There's a huge volume called The Habit of Being, and I just took my time and read that slowly. It's like 600 pages, but it's like diary entries, and you get to know her whole trajectory all the way up until her death, when she literally was still writing and had to put the pen down for the last time. And it's a very moving account, and so you get to know her heart in that. But then her stories are so fun too. Once you get to know her heart, her stories just, they make your skin crawl, and they make you laugh out loud.
Wow, that's amazing. And just one more time before we let you go, can you tell our viewers where they can find your book, Finding Flannery?
Yeah, Finding Flannery can be either, on Amazon or your favorite Catholic bookstore, or on Route Books and Media is what we publish. And we just won an award through the Catholic Media Association for this book in the memoir category. So I think it's worth checking out, and hopefully you can go on that adventure with us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time, Roxanne. It was really a pleasure having you here in the studio with us.
Lovely meeting you.